क्या बोल रही है? नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवज्जायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहूणम्. Jai Jinendra Sabhiko. Today is our final day, 18th day of the 18-day Paryushan Parv. I know some of the lectures have ended, but we had decided to go on till today. So we will finish our last lecture today of true nonviolence. And it is a very important topic. So hopefully, I mean, even if you did not join on Zoom, you will be able to listen to the YouTube and get the essence of it. So let me introduce our today's junior speaker. We have with us Aditi Shah from New Jersey. She's 11 years old. She goes to Central Jersey College Prep. She's in 6th grade. She's associated with Jain Center of New Jersey, JCNJ. Her interests in Jainism are to go to the temple, etc. Her mentors at home are mom and dad. And her hobbies are gymnastics, dance, swimming, basketball, and understanding Jain principle. That's very good, Aditi. And her long-term plans yet to be decided, but for now, she wants to be a scientist. Welcome, Aditi.
Jai Jinendra. My name is Aditi Shah, and I'm going to present True Nonviolence. Okay. True Nonviolence. Right? What are the 5 Mahavrats, great vows of ascetics? Right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct are the 3 most essentials for attaining liberation in Jainism. In order to acquire these, one must observe the 5 great vows. The first one is non-violence, which means ahimsa. The second one is truth, which means satya. The third one is non-stealing, which means acharya. The fourth one is celibacy or chastity, which means brahmacharya. The fifth one is attachment or non-possession, which is aparigraha. And true nonviolence is a supreme religion, which means ahimsa paramo dharma. The classification of 5 senses. The first one is sense of touch. Sense 1 is touch. The examples are plants, water, air, earth, fire, etc. The second sense is touch and taste. The example is worms, lychees, and etc. The third sense is touch, taste, and smell. The examples are ants, lice, and etc. The fourth sense is touch, taste, smell, and sight. The examples are flies, bees, and etc. The fifth sense is touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. And the examples are humans, animals, birds, and etc. What does true nonviolence mean? Nonviolence in Jainism means ahimsa. Jainism is an ethical system based on nonviolence, which is supreme religion and is one of the core practices in Jainism. Nonviolence means compassion and forgiveness in thoughts, words, and deeds towards all living beings. According to Jainism, all living beings, irrespective of their size, shape, and different spiritual development, are equal. The most central Jain teaching and the heart of Jain ethics is ahimsa, which means nonviolence. Ahimsa means no living being have a right to harm, injure, or kill any other living being, including the largest mammal, plant, bacteria, and even the smaller lives which cannot be seen even through the most powerful microscopes. The Jain symbol of ahimsa. The religious hand with the wheel on the palm symbolizes ahimsa in Jainism. The word in the middle is ahimsa, which means nonviolence. The wheel represents the Dharma chakra to halt the cycle of reincarnation through the pursuit of truth. Jain diet based on nonviolence. In order to be nonviolent, Jains follow the food restrictions. Jains are strict vegetarians but also do not eat root vegetables and some types of fruits. Some Jains are also vegans and also exclude various types of green vegetables. Jain principles of nonviolence. To avoid bad karma, Jains must practice ahimsa with mind, body, and speech, a strict code of nonviolence. Jains believe plants, animals, and even some non-living things like air and water have souls just like humans. The attachment is what causes violence. These are some pictures of being nonviolent. So the first one shows to not hurt any type of animal. The second picture shows to not eat any meat. And the third one shows a picture to not eat any root vegetables. Thank you, Sai. Thank you to my mom for supporting me. Thank you to Prabha Auntie for mentoring me and practicing with me and giving me the opportunity to present. And thank you to Jaina for bringing this to me. Jai Jinendra.
Very good, Aditi. Such a good presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we will go over to our speaker of the day, Dr. Priyadarshana Jain. And she did help me with mentoring, moderating yesterday. So we have finished all the 10 dharma, and today we are doing the supreme non-violence. Dr. Priyadarshana Jain is from Rajasthan.
No need of introduction.
Want introduction today? I guess, yes, we all know her.
Yeah.
So I will rather use that time to let her speak.
You speak.
So
we'll listen to you.
Quickly, briefly also talk about the Das Dharma. And of course, today's topic. That'll be great. Thank you. And I know we have less audience because all the other lectures have finished yesterday. So people probably are thinking that this is over too. But that's okay. It will be on YouTube and a lot of people do watch it there. So,
Prabhaji, you'll be talking about Shamavani. Yesterday we finished with the Dasa Dharma.
Das Dharma, okay.
We finished. So today you would like to conclude?
Right. So basically today is our conclusion. We at the temples, they all did the Kshamavani puja. And what is really Kshama? The first Kshama I ask is to my own soul for not being friends with it, for not being with it, immersed in it, which is really where I belong, with my true self. And other than that, in Vyavhar, we do day to day, unknowingly or knowingly, hurt people, hurt insects. Even for our daily living, we have to hurt so many ekendriya vegetables, fruits, and we know it and we are still doing it. So we ask for forgiveness from all of those jivas. There are so many jivas, even thus jivas living within our body. And we want to, ask for forgiveness from all the jivas. And the purpose of this is to have less kashai for ourselves, that I'm aware that my consuming them, I am hurting so many. So when I'm more aware, I will be watchful, I will be careful. And then we are sometimes rude to our friends, sometimes not very good, sensitive with our relatives. This is the time to ponder upon all of those times. First, forgive others, where if we have felt bad about somebody's behavior, this is the time to let go, not to keep a grudge. And they say, if you keep a grudge for over 1 year with anybody, it becomes a nikachit karm, which means you have to bear the fruits of it. If you let go of it, ask for pardon people, then your karmas that you built can be changed depending on your bhavs. So that is why there is so much significance of the Paryushan Parv, that you should not hold grudges for too long. So this is the brief of Shamavani, and in the puja, you do go through all the details of asking forgiveness from all the Ekendriya to Panchendriya Jeev and everybody concerned. One little thing I will tell you though, it's very important to know the amount of pap you get. We all think that, oh, it's okay. This is, how you feel bad about your closest, like your spouse says something to you, you feel the worst. Somebody, your neighbor says it's not so bad. And we hurt our spouse the most also, whoever is closest to you. And it is said, if you have to fight with some third person, not with your spouse. The closer the relationship, the more the pap. And we do totally opposite. So that is something, a big lesson for all of us to think about it, that I take it for granted, my spouse, and, I fight with them, or my parents or brothers or sisters or whatever, the closest people are the ones, because we deal with them on a daily basis. But something to think about. Whenever I think about saying something mean to somebody very close to me, think again, because that is what is creating the most pop compared to somebody in the mall you met and suppose you said something rude. That's not as bad as saying something to somebody's closest to you. So with that, I'll turn over to Priyaji. She's going to talk about true nonviolence today.
Prabhaji, 40 minutes?
Yes.
40?
You can take up to 7 o'clock your time. No, wait.
Okay. It's 6:13 now.
It's 6,
Here
about 6:15 now. Yeah. So take up to 7 o'clock your time.
Yeah. I'm going to do a wonderful stuti today. And if you can note down, you can note down. And I'll just tell the meaning of it in English. And then we go ahead. स्याद्वादनय शतद्रव्य गुण पर्याय और प्रमाण का जड़ चेतन द्रव्य कर्म का और कर्म के अवसान का कह कर स्वरूप यथार्थ जग का जो किया उपकार है उसके लिए जिनवा माँ को वंदना शत बार है इसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है. Jai Jinendra. First, I would like to explain the meaning of this small little Manglacharan. It says, all technical terms, Syadvad, that means relatively understanding the truth. Naya, having different viewpoints of the complex reality. Shat Dravya, of what? Of what should we have the right viewpoint? Of the 6 Dravyas. Syadvad, Naya, Shat, Dravya, okay, and Jad, Karma, and Chetan. That Shadravya includes the material karmas and the pure soul, the Chetan Swarup. Okay. Syadvad Naya Shat Dravya Gun Paryaya or Pramanaka. That is of the dravyas which has the gunas and which has the paryayas, which has the properties, qualities or characteristics, and it goes through modifications. Okay, gun, paryaya or pramanaka. And then the jad, karm and chetan, and how these two come together and how they are disassociated. Okay, so Jinvani reveals all this, and knowing all this, I know the reality of me and the karmic bondage and my place in the universe, and how do I become the master of the self and the universe. And for these reasons, I bow down to the great mother Jinvani. So this is the meaning of the Mangalacharan, the invocation that I just did. So Jai Jinendra, everybody. Good morning here and good evening there. And at the outset, lest I forget, I would like to thank Jaina for giving us this great opportunity to be with you for 18 days for the Paryushan. It was really wonderful to have the Jaina platform, and I'm very delighted about it, and I'm very thankful. I record my gratitude towards all the trustees and members of Jaina and all those who are going to listen to this YouTube lecture later on. So thank you. And without Prabhaji, we could not have come together. So we owe her a big, big, big thanks for arranging this program, for having the lovely, 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 lovely children. And I'm so delighted to see their presentations. I would always be worried, that I teach Jainism in the department and we are so passionate about it. We are so sincere about it. We do it so beautifully. For the MA Masters program, we teach 28 papers. What is going to happen about Jainism in future? All that load I was having, and looking at these little children, I know the future of Jainism is bright. I can put down that load and I can rest in peace. So children, you're all the ambassadors and the great Jinvani ke messengers in future. The world is yours and you are going to rule the world. And I want the world to have non-violence and to have more of Aditis. Aditi itself means the sun, So when the sun rises, the darkness is dispelled. So when the sun of ahimsa, non-violence will rise, and then we will see that all our problems will end. Well, be at the physical level, at the mental, intellectual level, at the emotional level, at the family level, society level, the national level, and at the environment level. So at the 7 levels, we are all with all dimensions of violence that are ruling the world. So we need more of non-violence, and we need more people to talk about non-violence and make people understand. So how the great acharyas in the past, they wrote books and books and books, Shastra, ke upar Shastra we have, which talk about the great thought of non-violence. And in Jainism, everything begins with non-violence and ends with non-violence. Like everything begins with non-violence, ends with non-violence. I can tell you that non-violence is an all-encompassing concept. It brings in all the life forms under its fold. It brings spirituality. It brings your interpersonal relationships. It brings you the intrapersonal relationships, everything together. You can have it under one concept, and that is ahimsa. And this is only not there in our life, in our minds, and in the society and at the environment level. And so the world is in a mess. And so we talk about challenges and the grave challenges that mankind faces today, So it's a very treacherous, a very difficult situation. And we are not going to leave a very good, great, green world for our children that they can breathe comfortably. Already we are seeing the pandemic, the lack of oxygen, and people are on the ventilators and they do not even get a very, a good farewell from this world also, So even the family was not there with them to bid them goodbye. So that is the situation in which we are living. And science tells us that there are going to be more such pandemics in future. And we have to prepare mankind for it. So we all spiritual healers and teachers have a great responsibility. And so we keep talking. So we have a responsibility towards ourselves also and to the environment at large. So we need more people at Jaina talk about ahimsa and take things forward. So thank you, Prabhaji, for bringing these children and for sowing the light, the seeds in them, and helping them to understand. Who knows, these children tomorrow will be great presenters and leaders of tomorrow. So hats off to all the children, and I bow down to you. So please, please, please keep studying, keep growing, keep learning, keep teaching, keep healing, and whatever you may be in your day, in your profession, but take this also as your profession. So I want all the teachers to listen to this and send me a message that yes, we are going to take it forward. So Priya ma'am, please don't worry about anything. Okay, so now I'm also thankful to all the listeners, especially Sarojini madam, Hemal ji, and Surendra ji, and everybody who have been there, Shanti sir, Shripal sir, and early morning here in India. I get messages from people, that, oh yes, we listened to the lecture and we loved it. They send me a mail and they send me a, so my mail is just priyadashnajain@yahoo.in. So you can just send me a mail and give your response to through Prabhaji also. So thank you all for tuning in to this beautiful program, and which Prabha madam has designed it so beautifully. So one hats off to Prabha madam के लिए बनता है कि जिन्होंने ये program design किया और हम सबको दिया. ठीक है? And I got the opportunity to deliver 5 lectures. I started with the modern context. And then through 12 bhavanas, we try to understand how to be our own friend, how to come closer to our own self. So when we come closer to our own self, only then it is true non-violence. All the Tirthankars came closer to themselves. They got enlightenment. They got first, before getting enlightenment, they got Vitaragata. Vitarag. Vita means what? Without. Or whose rag is gone. There's no more rag left in him. Rag means an iota of attachment. Okay, so in the word rag, if you take the word rag, there is the word ag hidden in it. You remove the R sound. R sound, if you remove, what is it? It is ag. Ag means fire. So this rag fire is burning our jiva. So this jiva is of the nature of consciousness, and that consciousness operates through Gyan and Darshan. Even when you close your eyes, something or the other you're knowing and seeing. And you're not knowing what you want to know. You don't get the thoughts in your mind. They randomly come. They randomly come. So, oh, I got good thoughts. I got evil thoughts. I'm very disturbed. Who is the one who is witnessing all this inside? Who is the one sitting inside and witnessing all this? So that witness, that Sakshi Bhav, is the pure soul. So when you remain in the Sakshi Bhav, when you remain a detached witness to anything and everything that is happening to your mind, body, and speech, you have to detach from the mind, body, speech, okay, and just be a witness of what is happening to your mind, what is coming in your mind, what you're doing to through your speech, and what you're doing through your body. So the more and more you witness your witness swabhav, that is ahimsa. That moment you're not doing any rag, you're not doing any more rag dvesh, you're not in a deluded state. So that is termed as ahimsa. By whom? By Purushartha Siddhyupai Acharya Amrit Chandra, who wrote the great book Purushartha Siddhyupaya. The word Purushartha Siddhyupaya itself is so fantastic. First word is Purusha. Purusha. Second is Artha. Then Siddhi. And then Upaya. Upaya means, please keep everybody muted, dear. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's some disturbance here.
Wishing you good health always. Well.
Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, so Purusha refers to Chetana. Artha means, what should I do? Chetana means, I hope you all understand, consciousness, soul, spirit, Jeev, Atman, Brahman, call it by any name you want. Purusha Artha. Artha means, what is the purpose of knowing this Purush? And after knowing the purpose, okay, if I know this Purush, I will know the whole universe. I will know the Loka Lok. Okay, and then I will know real happiness. Now you have known the purpose. Now Siddhi. Siddhi means, how do I accomplish it? Siddhi means how to accomplish. Siddhi means accomplishment. And Upaya means, what are the means to accomplish it? What are the means to accomplish the Purushartha Siddhi? That is the Purushartha Siddhi Upaya. It's a beautiful text. And there are almost, let us say, 200 plus sutras in Sanskrit. And they give us the beautiful Ratnatre, which includes Sallekhana, very beautifully structured. I have such great recommendations for all of you to begin with your Jain studies. You can start with Balbodh, Vitrag Vigyan, Jain Tattva Prakash, Jain Tattva Praveshika, and then you can take to Purushartha Siddhyupai, and then you can take to Chedhala, Brihad Aloena, Brihad Dravya Sangra, and then slowly go to Uttaradhyan and then Acharang Sutra in the Shvetamba tradition. And then you can go to Samaysar and these texts in the Digambar tradition, and both should go through the Tattvartha Sutra completely. So we would like to conduct a workshop for Jaina on the Tattvartha Sutra. So if Jaina can come forward and arrange this workshop, and it will be online and it will be a wonderful exercise for 10 days. So we can do it. And then once you're done with all these texts, then you take the Jainendra Siddhant Kosh in the Digambar tradition and Abhidhan Rajendra Kosh in the Shvetamba tradition. And then you learn all this, and then you will know the crux of Jainism. Okay, so anybody who has a request for the workshop, you can put it to Dhimenji, you can put it to Prabhaji, you can put it to Jaina, and definitely we will also try to do it. And let us see what can be the outcome of it. Because we need to take Jainism forward. We need to take Ahimsa forward. Only then there will be a meaningful change in our lives. And when there are changes in our lives, only then we can impact other lives. So it's a total bottom-up approach in Jainism. If you want to have a peaceful world, a peaceful environment, you should work with your own selves. Okay. And second thing that I want to say is plant banyan trees, plant people trees, plant oxygen-rich trees. Be an eco-warrior. First, apply Jainism for your inner transformation, and at the environment level, be an eco-warrior. Plant 1,000 saplings and trees and nurture them. Give a beautiful world, leave a beautiful world, so that you don't take the ruin, the curse, the debt of this environment and go. Then only you will be able to be reborn on this beautiful planet again. And without being born on Bharata Kshetra or on the earth, that is Adhai Dweep, none of us can be liberated. And if we pollute the environment, then we will not get a chance to be reborn here. It's a debt that we are taking, and then nature will punish us. Or you go back to the micro level, do all the corrections, and then come back over here. Okay, so beautiful thing. Yesterday, one of my relatives, one of my cousin brother-in-laws, he gave 6 crores rupees in charity. He gave it for human disaster, for cataract operations, for education, for medical relief, single-handedly. And he's got a trust in the name of his parents. He collects the money and he puts in his own money. And yesterday he put in 6 crores of rupees. I don't know, crores is some $1 million in your US. So I'm not very good at calculating because we don't use those calculations much. So yesterday was his 66th birthday. And he said, I've got enough. I've left enough for my children. Now let me give the rest in charity. So whether it is Christians or Muslims or Hindus or Jains, he open-heartedly, he does charity for education, for their, sadharmik bhakti, for Guru Bhagwan's Vayavritya, for temples. And so he's distributed that money. And yesterday was a great event in our family. So, and then his children kept a small birthday party for him. And there again, we had the speech. And then I just told them, the twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what we are. We all learn this nursery rhyme. Like we always teach the children, the stars are up above. But I would say the Shastras tell us that the stars are down below. Okay. So the first thing that we should understand is Dan or any other value for that matter is included under ahimsa. So when you give yourself the gift of divinity, you give less value to your material possessions. And that is when you share those things with people. So we have the Shastra Dan, we have the Abhay Dan, we have the Aushad Dan, we have the Supatra Dan, and so many forms of dana. So what we are sharing with you, we are doing the Shastra Dan for you. So it is not for you. With your nimit, we are actually reminding ourselves of the supreme duty that we have towards our self. Okay, friends. So this was a very important part of my talk today. And you all know that ahimsa, paramo dharma, is written in the Mahabharata. But there it is also told that for dharma, if you have to do himsa, it is justified. For dharma, if you have to do himsa, it is justified. That line has been purposely removed. And only ahimsa, paramo dharma, we have taken only the half-baked truth. And so we are not warriors today. You understand? So all the Tirthankars were Kshatriyas. They knew how to fight with them, their inner enemies, and they also knew how to fight with the barbarians outside. They knew how to fight the barbarians outside. See, I'll tell you one thing. You all know of the 4 yugas: Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug. Satyug is the time when Harishchandra was born. And Harishchandra's enemies came from the other world. The gods, the goddesses, they wanted to test his sincerity and honesty and integrity. So they disguised as men and women and they took his pariksha. And there, his enemy, we can say his enemies came from the other world. Okay. And in Treta Yug, we had Ramchand. And where were Ramchandra's enemies? From the neighboring kingdom, from the neighboring country. Okay. And then came the Dwapar Yug. In the Dwapar Yug, we have Krishna, Kauravas, Pandavas, and all of them. So, and who were their enemies? Their enemies were in the family. Their enemies were in the families only, their families only. And now we are in the Kali Yuga, the dark age. Now, where are our enemies? And our enemies are within our own self. Our enemies are within our own self. And Acharang and all these agamas tell us that appa mittam amittam cha dupattiya supattiyo. That means Atma is its own friend when it follows the right path. And Atma is its own enemy when it follows the wrong path. Now, what is the right path and the wrong path? Then Jainism tells us that Mithya Darshan Gyan Charitra is the wrong path. And Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra is the right path. That is, false faith, knowledge, and conduct is the wrong path. and the right faith, right knowledge, right conduct is the right path. So when we say ahimsa, we only think of the conduct. We only think, oh, I should do this, I should not do this, I should follow the vratas, I should not lie, I should not kill, I should not steal. So these are the gross forms of violence or non-violence. But the subtle form of violence or non-violence is not understanding the self, not understanding the divine, inherent, eternal, pure consciousness. That perversion is the greatest form of violence. And understanding that is the greatest form of non-violence. So when you understand, when you read the Jinvani, and more than that, more than Jinvani, you should read the logic. You should understand logic. I have hell a lot of texts on Jaina logic, and we can do a workshop on Jaina logic, the 11 tools of Jaina logic. So if you all can get a handful of people, like say 50, 100 people, then only Jaina will do this workshop for you. So you all take this onus on you and spread the word if you want to engage scholars and know this, the Jaina logic works. Only then you will know what really this consciousness is, this Chetana is, and then you will crack the perversion and you will get the Samyak Darshan. That important the Jain studies. And if you are instrumental in making even one Jeev Samyak Drishti, if we are instrumental in making even one Jeev Samyak Drishti, then what will happen? You get more punya than averting the killing of one Jeev or millions of Jeev. Millions of Jeev you're averting, that punya is less when compared to being instrumental in making one person Samyak Drishti. How? I give you the logic behind. So when you you cannot make anybody Samyak Drishti, you can only be instrumental. Okay, so when you are instrumental for somebody's Samyak Darshan, and that person who has got Samyak Darshan will eventually get Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra in perfection. Okay, and he will not be wandering in the fourfold existence. And he's not going to do all the violence towards all the 6 kinds of life forms. You understand? So had he been in the world, he would have killed more jivas than we avert. So that non-violence is more when compared to the killing of all these creatures. Okay, so first of all, like for example, in the Shvetamba tradition, we enumerate the 18 pap, 18 pap. Pranatipat, Mrishavad, Atatadan, Metun, Parigraha, all that. And the 18th pap is Mithya Darshan Shalya. And in the Digamba tradition, we have the 5 main pap. They are the 5 kinds of astram. They are Mithyatva, that is perversion, Avirati, not taking to a disciplined life of vows, then Pramad, that is not being alert of your own self, and wasting your time in gossip and sleep and recreation and all that. And then you have Kashai, that is the 4-fold passions, anger, conceit, deceit, and greed, which spring from attachment and aversion. And then you have all the activities of mind, body, speech. All activities of mind, body, speech are in a way violence to your own self. That is why you see all Tirthankar images, they are in what? Kayutsarga Mudra, that is in a detached state. You should forget that you have a body also. Otherwise, always, oh, I've got a headache, I've got a back pain, I've got a leg pain, I've got diabetes, I've got BP, I've got sugar. That means you're remembering that you have a body. When you follow the Sattvic lifestyle, when you follow the Jain lifestyle of intermittent fasting and taking to eating less than required, etc., you will never fall sick. And then you will never remember that you have a body, and whatever you do, you will do from the consciousness point of view. So you understand? So that way we have to understand that this ahimsa includes all these practices. So when you practice whatever the full Charananu Yoga, all the do's and don'ts, you benefit tremendously And the first thing you understand is you understand yourself. And then the 18th path, Mithya Darshan, which is like a shalya. Shalya means a thorn, which is pricking us from inside. This thorn of perversion is ruining the soul. And because of this perversion only, we go back to the nigodh state. See, if you kill somebody, if you murder somebody, if you take untruth, you will wander, you will be bondage for a few gati, for a few existences, and not take to infinite or innumerable births and deaths in nigodh. The consequence of not being your own friend is going to the nigodh level. So first of all, close the doors of nigodh. Then the doors of moksha will open. So first close the doors of perversion. Then only the door of right faith or self-realization or enlightenment will open. That is when the non-violence will start. That is a time when real non-violence, true non-violence will start. Otherwise, we take to the gross form of non-violence, we are getting punya karma. But when we are not our own friend, I really like what Prabhaji said today, that we are asking forgiveness from the people whom we just have acquaintances or putting on Facebook, putting on WhatsApp, michhame dukram. But have we really asked forgiveness from our spouse, from our children, whom we have hurt, by whom we have been hurt? Do we ask forgiveness from the fire we use, from the water we use, from the misuse we do to the environment, the overuse, the abuse, using plastic, using electricity, using all these gadgets, and you are using the 6 kinds of life forms, which are the earth-bodied, the water-bodied, the fire-bodied, the air-bodied, the plant-bodied, and the mobile living beings, simply called as Prithvikai, Appakai, Teukai, Vayukai, Vanaspatikai, and the Traskai. So in our body also, all the 6 kinds of life forms are there. So all the bacteria, the virus, and they're ruining your life because you are not your own friend. You have filled your body with the toxins, and the virus or the corona or whatever it is, the bacteria, they come to eat away the toxins. If you have a clean body, if you have a sattvic lifestyle and sattvic diet, you won't have the toxins in your body, and then you won't have the fear of corona or the whatever, the COVID or whatever it is. So you're having the fear because you have misused, abused the body. You have put in all the kinds of junk food in your body, and you have not had doing the deep breathing and all those things. And you are not your own friend at the physical level. And so at the mental level, you have to be obsessed with the fear of the pandemic, the corona, etc., etc. So just yesterday in my Prakrit diploma class, I was teaching about one gatha, that you are having physical unease. You're not at ease with your physical body, but mentally you're uneasy. That is more suffering when compared to the physical uneasiness. I'll give you one example. 2 people have cancer. One is a samyak drishti and the other is a mithya drishti. One is having the right view of reality, of life and living, etc. And the other person has no right view of life and living. And not necessary that a samyak drishti will not have cancer. If his karma uday is such, he may also have cancer. But my research tells me that the root of all cancer is the spiritual bankruptcy. And then the sattvic bankruptcy. We don't have the spiritual quotient in our life, and then we don't have the sattvic lifestyle. We don't believe in it. That is the breeding ground for all kinds of cancer, be it the cancer of perversion or be it the cancer of the medical science. So the root cause of all cancer is the fear that we nurture in the psyche, is all the wrong habits that we nurture in our day-to-day routine. So I would say that I was talking about that example. No, what is that example I was talking about? Where did I start with? So if I leave anything, you just catch up with. What was I saying a minute ago? Who can tell me? Hello? Okay, fine. You can catch up if I leave something. If I leave something, you can catch up. So what I was trying to say is that cleanliness is next to godliness. If you really feel godly inside, you will practice non-violence towards your own self first by getting rid of perversion and getting Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra. Okay, in that light, you can see everything clearly. You don't have to be told that do not waste electricity, do not waste water, do not abuse other men, do not do not exploit your domestic help or whatever it is. Your inner wisdom has awakened, and that wisdom will guide you every moment, every moment, every. For example, when you keep a running tap, when you're using the running tap and you're simply brushing your teeth and the tap water is being wasted, immediately your conscious will tell you this water is also with life. You're supposed to use it and not misuse it and overuse it. Our Guru Bhagwans don't even use a running tap. Whatever little water they want, they take it from our house. That much of what to say, friendliness towards all the 6 life forms our Guru Bhagwan practice. And what are we doing? Are we following their footsteps? So how do we follow their footsteps? First, understand their lifestyle and try to emulate that lifestyle to the extent possible. Oh, they sleep on the ground. Even I can sleep on the ground. And you see what magic it will do to your health. Oh, they walk barefoot. Let me also try to walk barefoot. Then see the magic that all the acupressure happens to your legs. And then you have good blood circulation and you never fall sick. Oh, they don't eat post sunset. I'm also not supposed to eat. Oh, I cannot be without eating after post sunset. Okay, then limit it. In a month, at least 15 days, I'll try to be like my Guru Bhagwans. 15 days, I will try to be a social birdie. Somewhere draw the line. Somewhere bring in the discipline in your life. In all ways. Oh, they do not have any wealth and possessions. Let me limit my wealth and possessions. You want $1 million, $1 trillion. Keep the maryada, keep the upper limit. Beyond that, I renounce. Let it be 1 million, 1 lakh, 1 crore, whatever it is. Oh, I need 10 pairs of shoes. Okay, beyond that, I renounce. I need 50 sets of clothes. Beyond that, I renounce. Keep a maryada, keep a logbook. Keep a logbook. So when you understand the value of the Atma, you will understand the value of the great vows. And you will, the yam and niyam. Yam is the vows that you take for lifelong, and niyam is your day-to-day life. Niyam is your day-to-day life. So day-to-day life, I will do swadhyay every day. I will practice maun every day. I will practice doing alochna every day. I will write my journal every day, whatever my shortcomings. Oh, today I wasted time. Write it down. Today I committed some gross or some stealing or lying or cheating or wasting time or going behind the YouTube. Jot it down. Whatever you feel you have done wrong, keep writing it. Keep writing it. Keep writing it. When you write your logbook, next moment means after a few days, your subconscious mind will tell you that, hey, if you do a wrong, you have to write it in the book. And immediately it will start doing the corrections. Now you have awakened your subconscious mind. And when you have awakened your subconscious mind, you are conscious of your activities, of your mind, body, speech. So that is applied Jainism. That knowledge, when you apply, it becomes Samyak Gyan. Hey, you're doing rag. Rag is not your nature. There is a fire in it. It will burn you in future existences. Don't do it. Stop it. So you don't do rag, you don't do dvesh. And that is when that rag, which was becoming Ananta type, Anantanubandhi type, now that will be arrested first. That when that is arrested, the true non-violence has begun towards your own self. And that will begin when you understand, when you awaken your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind will help you to tap the resources of the conscious mind. And in the consciousness, what will manifest is knowledge, wisdom. And that is your true nature. And now I would like to ask you, not ask you, tell you, what is the ultimate form of ahimsa? The penultimate form of ahimsa is vitaragata. And without getting the vitaragata, nobody can get kevalya, omniscience, the all-knowing supreme knowledge. And now you have applied this Jainism and you are checking the rag. So one fine day, even your rag will be diluted, and what remains is knowledge, wisdom, the pure consciousness, the awareness of it. And that is when, from that pure consciousness, omniscience will manifest. And when you become God yourself, you attain moksha, and that is when you will get rid of all the karma, all the suffering, all the rebirth. So Jainism is all to be your own friend through applying these Jains. Now, when we take the Jain scriptures, we also come across the Dravya Himsa and the Bhava Himsa. Dravya Himsa is physically harming anybody by thought, word, and deed. And Bhava Himsa is even thinking about it, even having the bhav of committing violence is even the bhav of committing violence towards your own soul. When you don't know your supreme bhav, it is violence to your own self. So that bhav himsa we do first to ourselves. Now I would like to request you to write 1, 2, 3, 4. So one, for example, somebody has hurt me and I want to give him left and right. So what do? I take a hot burning rod. So I'm a blacksmith and there was a hot burning rod around. So I took a hot burning iron rod and I go to hit that person. Okay. Now that person escapes. So I have not actually hit that person. And that hot burning rod was hot. I realized it and I threw it. Okay. So now here, the first step was I got the thought of hitting that person. Then what did I do? I took the hot burning rod. So number one is I had the thought of hitting. That is a bhava himsa. Then I took the hot burning rod to hit that person. That is dravya himsa. Number two. Number three, I hit that person. And number four, he feels the pain of it and then he suffers. That is number four. So you're causing the hurt to somebody that comes in the number 3 and 4. But even if that 3 and 4 is not there, 1 and 2 himsa has happened or not? 1 and 2 himsa has happened or not? So Jainism says, first you be your own friend by getting samyak darshan gyan. And then you will practice that vitarag swabhav in your samayik. So a Shravak should morning, afternoon, evening, night, at least, now you are supposed to do 48 minutes of absorbing in the pure soul, meditating on the pure soul. That is when you are actually practicing non-violence towards your own self. Right? So in olden days, we used to have the watch or the clock and we used to give the key to it. Just for a minute, we would key the clock and that clock would work for 24 hours. You do yoga, exercise, pranayam, walking or whatever it is for half an hour, 40 minutes, the whole day you're fit and fine and you get good vibes from your, your body cells, you're fit and fine. So in the same way, when you do this 48 minutes of samayik, what you do in 48 minutes is your own self, but the examination of it, whether you have done it rightly or not, happens during the rest of the day. Some people will abuse you, some people will scream at you, some people will ill-treat you, some people will disrespect you. Will you remain in samabhav at that time? Will you remain in equanimity at that time? That check you have to keep doing. So that is the applied samayik. That is the applied vitaragata that will help you to get rid of the anantanubandhi kashaya. Now the Jain scriptures also talk about 18,000 ways of practicing Shila. Shila is ahimsa. good conduct. Okay, so now what are those 18,000 ways? I will request you all to look at the board. If I can use the board, please, please, please note down. It will come like this. I may not be able to write everything, but you can ask and you can take it from me later on. Okay, it goes like this. I think I need to put in one more box. You can write over here 3. You can write over here 3. And then there's one more box. How do I put it? I put it like this. I put it like this. Yeah. Okay. So this is like this. Yeah, this is my boxes. Huh? There's one more box here. Yeah. So this is how we get the number 18,000. I'm sure you all will enjoy it. Please let me know if you really like it. It may be a little heavy, but because we are very few people, so it doesn't matter. So here you have 3. Here 3. And here 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here you have to put 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same 10 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blocks you get. Now what you have to write here is, here you have to write Krita Karita Anumodita. That is to do, to ask others to do, and to approve of those who do. By thought, by word, by deed. Here are the 4 instincts of food, fear, pleasure, and possessions. And that we do with our 5 senses. We do it with our 5 senses. And that is what we have the, the 5 senses. Yeah. Ears, eyes, nose, etc. And what we do violence towards earth, water, fire, air, plants, 2 sensed, 3 sensed, 4 sensed, 5 sensed, and the non-living things. And here we have the Dasa Lakshana, Shama, Marda, Vajav, etc. Now you multiply this 10 with 10, you get 100. 100 into 5, 500. 500 into 4, 2000. 2000 into 3, 6000. 6000 into 3, 18,000. You multiply from up also, you get the same. 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 5, etc. You keep, I don't know whether you'll get it or not, but we do it from the down. So what this ahimsa or the shield, this is called as, it is in the shape of a chariot. So it is called Shilanga Ratha. It is called Shilanga Ratha. Now, all of you note down what is the meaning of this. We are supposed to follow the Dasa Lakshana, not as a festival, but in every breath. The Brahmacharya, Atma Raman, remembering the pure soul ever, help yourself ever, hurt yourself never. That is when you're practicing non-violence towards your own self. When you don't come out of this, you're not causing violence to any of these life forms. You're not misusing or overusing your senses. You're not nurturing the 5 instincts. By thought, word, and deed, you are not doing, you're not asking others to do, you're not approving of those who do. So the 18,000 forms of non-violence happen in one breath. Happen in one breath. Happen in one, in one breath of your self-realization. And when you don't realize yourself, you may follow ahimsa at the gross level and get punya, get meritorious karma, and that karma will take you to Devalok. And once in Devalok, all your punya is exhausted. Now mithyatva was there, the perversion was there inside. That will take us back to Nigot. That will take us back to Nigot. So you understand. So how this mithyatva is the greatest form of violence? You understand? So now a question arises, can a Samyak Drishti take to fighting a war? Can a Samyak Drishti take to fighting a war? Yes, Jainism says yes. A Samyak Drishti may be a ruler, he may be a judge. If he has to pronounce a statement, his wisdom will guide him. We have the examples of Bharat Chakravarti, who had 96,000 Ranis and so much of possessions and so much of warfare he had to engage in, but he was a Samyak Drishti. So he never did it with the intention of killing. He never did it with the intention of doing it. He was awakened soul, and all that was happening was his karma uday. So we have the 4 kinds of violence. You can note down if you want. Sankalpi, intentional violence. Arambi, that is related to your day-to-day domestic usage of earth, water, fire, air, plants. Okay, and traveling and all that comes under Arambi. Then Udyogi is related to your occupational. Okay, and Virodhi is for self-defense. So all Jains should be very good in self-defense techniques, and they should learn all this, and then only you can protect your heritage sites also. Otherwise, there will be these barbarians and they are going to claim all of that, and they are going to destroy all our Jain images. And then we keep telling, oh, that was ours, oh, this was ours, oh, this was ours. That was our past. But now you children, I'm telling you, train yourself in self-defense. Train yourself in self-defense. Be good eco-warriors. Be good warriors to protect your motherland. So you should learn to respect the 5 mothers. The first one is your mother tongue. That is Prakrit language. From Prakrit have come all the North Indian languages, be it Gujarati, Marathi, Marwadi, etc. Then your motherland. India is your motherland. Indian culture is your mother that will protect you forever. And then you have the Mother Earth, Dharti Mata. And then you have the Bharat Mata, that is a motherland. Then you have your mother. Your mother. You should respect your mother. Finally, you should know how to respect the cow. Na Gai Mata. The Indian breed cows. If you can have your own Indian breed cows, in those days, the Shravak used to have 10,000 cows and 40,000 cows. You know, so you need to revisit the agricultural way of living, the eco way of living, the Gomata way of living, and that culture will protect the mankind. Otherwise, we have become so insensitive to our own self, to the environment, and so man is insensitive towards others. If we can awaken them to be sensitive towards their own self, towards Mother Nature, towards cows and insects and small creatures, they will be sensitive towards the suffering of other men, and they would not be killing others. Otherwise, man is going to kill man and finish this earth. So I hope you all understood the true form of non-violence. Lots and lots and lots of food for thought I've given you all. And if I have hurt you during these 18 days in thought, word, and deed, if I've spoken anything against the spirit of Jinwani, I beg pardon from one and all. Paroksh Rup se, when we did the Pratikraman, we asked forgiveness from all of you. Now, Pratyaksh way, I'm asking for forgiveness. May you all forgive me for my wrongdoings. If I've spelt anything wrongly, if I've told anything wrongly, if I've hurt you, abused you in any way while bringing this great Jinwani to you, I beg pardon from Jaina, I beg pardon from Prabhaji, and I beg pardon from all of you. And I would say, may all living beings happy. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Sarve santu niramaya. May all be disease free. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. May all living beings walk on the path of welfare, seek their welfare. Ma kashchit dukkha bhag bhavet. Let no living being suffer. With this universal prayer, I would like to bid goodbye and thank you. And we are open for the question answer session. Over to Prabhaji. Thank you, Jai Janendra.
Thank you so much, Priyadarshana ji. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you accepting to do this for us every year. Also, from my side, I want to ask for forgiveness to all the audience, to Jaina, for anything unintentional. Of course, I wouldn't want to do anything different or Shastra Virudh intentionally, but it is possible unintentionally if I have said anything that was not according to our Shastras or in any way hurt anyone in the audience, or Dhiman Bhai, or Haresh Bhai, Shobha Ben, Michami Tukram, Kamat Kamna to everybody. Now we'll move on to the questions for the day. And these questions are mainly so we can revise the topic again, and audience participation, will help, because that shows that, you guys were able to retain something out of the lecture. So what is the reference of the phrase ahimsa paramo dharma? Where did that come from?
Mahabharat.
Mahabharat. Yeah, interesting. Okay, where are the enemies today?
In
Aditi,
ourselves.
anybody, Mizar, do you want to answer, Beta? You can unmute and answer if you want.
Oh, what happened?
You're not able to unmute? Anybody else wants to answer?
In ourselves.
In ourselves. Very good. How does Purusharth Siddhyupai describe ahimsa?
Mind,
Yes,
body, and speech. Mind, body, and speech.
No, actually, it's a different answer. Hemal, did you want to try?
Yes, I think it is rag and dvesh. That is the true violence and the basis of violence.
Yeah, actually, it is the very beginning of rag. Ragadi ki utpatti. And even though they say ragadi, usually it's the rag that is more, because of rag, you get dvesh towards somebody else.
Right.
For the most part, that's the way it is. So the moment if
And
that
that
rag
itself is the bhav
there.
violence, bhav
Yes.
ahimsa. No,
Mhm.
bhav hinsa. Sorry, bhav hinsa.
Right. What is the parakashta, highest form of ahimsa, and in which gunsthan it manifests?
Can you say the question one more time?
It says, what is the highest form of ahimsa, and in which gunasthan it manifests? See, like right now, the way we are, there's no way we can do 100% complete ahimsa. So,
Oh,
right. go
Arhant
ahead.
state.
Well, that is, of course, the Arhant state is the ultimate, but also you can reach that ahimsa by the time it's 12th gunasthan, because then it's quickly going to be the 13th, and it happens so quickly.
Right.
Now, name the 6 kinds of life forms.
Tara, even you can answer. No. Air, earth,
Yeah, let
water.
Tara answer. It's okay.
Tara,
She
come.
learned it, right?
Yeah. What are the different life forms? Earth body, air body. Can you tell them? Whatever you remember, you tell. Come. Come. This is about just telling what you know. You have to speak loudly though. Prabhat, come here so you can listen. Prabhaji, what is the question one more time, please?
What are the 6 life forms?
Can you name them? You have to tell them. You can
It's
speak.
okay. You can look at me and talk. I'm not going to bite you.
Yeah, that one. That one. See,
air, water,
Mhm.
air, water. What else?
fire,
Mhm.
Very good.
and
Land,
land.
and then the
Plants and one more.
plants
Plants and animals.
and 5 sensed, 2 to 5 sense living creatures, right?
Yes.
All the life forms, she says.
Earth. You're missing the earth-bodied.
Yes.
Very good. Good job, Tara. Glad you could remember. And what are the 4 kinds of violence?
Sankalpi, Arambi, Udyogi, and Virodhi.
Virodhi. Very good. What is Dravya and Bhavhinsa?
Dravya Hinsa is the beginning of the thought of wanting to hurt somebody. And Bhav Hinsa, sorry, that is Bhav
It's the other way
Hinsa.
around. Yeah,
Dravya Hinsa is actually acting on your thought.
right. And Bhavinsa is just the moment you contemplated about that Hinsa is.
Hurting that person.
Okay, very good. What are the components of Shilangrat?
Oh, that is hard to remember.
She went through this towards the
Yeah,
end,
she
right?
did. It is, it's a very, it's very detailed.
It's very complicated to remember. Unless you wrote it down, I don't think.
Wrote it down
So
exactly.
whatever
there is-
anybody can remember, maybe together we can solve that problem. The first 3 was?
that's the Krit, Karit, and Anumodna. Means
Next
you're
3?
doing it, you're asking somebody to do it, and you are encouraging others to do it.
Yeah, Sarojini ji, you want to say
things.
the next one?
No, my screen went blank for a while. I lost all my notes and everything.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Well, the next one I think was Manvachan Kaya.
Manvachan, Kaya, thought, words, and
Right.
deeds. Then it is, I don't know what these are called, but it's the
Five
instincts. She
senses.
said 5 instincts: food, fear, food and fear,
And 2 P's, Parigra and
Method.
Methun, right?
okay. 4, right. Food, fear, pleasure, and possessions. Correct. Correct.
Possessions, yes.
And then the 5 senses.
Then the 5 senses. Then the 10.
Then the bodies, the earth, water, fire,
Right.
land, plant, and then the 2, 3, 4, 5 sensed creatures.
Yes, so that's
Living
10.
beings.
And then the Das
And then the
Dharma.
Das Dharma
Very
is
good.
the whole, what is it again? Steel.
18,000. When you
Love-
multiply for each of the
Multiply
levels. you
each
get
one by the other, it's 18,000. It is 18,000 what now? I missed
It's
the
18,000 ways you can do Hinsa.
ways of Hinsa. Okay.
Because, the permutations and combinations.
Prabhaji,
Yeah.
it is 18,000 ways of violence and non-violence. If
Yeah,
you
so
do
if you
it,
don't do, yes, when you're
and
in
if you
your
don't
soul,
do it,
you avoid
yeah,
the
yeah.
18,000.
yeah.
But in that, then Das Dharma is what we have to do, no? And the remaining steps are what we are not going to do if we do the Das Dharma.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So if your foundation, your base is not there, then the
Ah.
foundation, the true non-violence is not there. Then what you do is only the gross non-violence.
Ah.
You understand? And then you
Yeah.
think you're doing dharma. You're
Right.
doing dharma. So then you're lost in punya. And then you
Right,
you're
right.
caught in the transmigratory cycle.
And when you say Das Dharma, you are talking about Uttam Das Dharma, right? You're not talking about, you are talking
Definitely.
about Uttam Dharma. So then you have
Yes.
to be Samyak Drishti to prevent these 18,000 episodes of violence. Otherwise, we are committing that with each breath, pretty much.
Yes.
Mhm.
So 18 days, 10 days of your Das Lakshan should be 365 days of this 18,000 ways of doing ahimsa.
The lust, Lakshan and Paryushan, the purpose is to
Together.
remind you that this is how we are supposed to be every day.
Yeah.
So now, is mithyatva, perversion, a kind of violence? Substantiate your statement.
It is violence because what we learned is by having Mithya Darshan, we don't have Samyak Darshan. So not having Samyak Darshan, we are not following the Uttam Das Dharma. And then we are doing this 18,000 types of violence
Mhm.
every moment.
And it can take you to the lowest form of life.
It takes you to going to Nigod. Yes, that causes you to be born in Nigod.
The last question. Can a Samyak Drishti be a part of any battle or war? Give
Yes.
example.
Yes, he can be. Jain Dharma permits it, and Bharat Chakravarti is the example Priyadarshanaji gave us.
Okay.
You know, I have something to say there. You know, Bharat Chakravarti was okay to do that because he was Samyak Drishti. What if the king who is doing the Virodhi Bhav is not, who's doing the Virodhi Hinsa is not Samyak Drishti? Then what?
If
Because
you are
then his
not
Rag and
Samyak
Dvesh.
Drishti, then you based on your karmas, you could go up to Narak.
Right, because none of us are Samyak Drishti, and if we, for us, I know we as Shravak, we are allowed to do Virodhi Hinsa, but we are not Samyak Drishti like the king was. And we will operate with Rag and Dvesh in that case.
Mhm.
And when we are operating in Rag and Dvesh and doing Virodhi Hinsa, then it is not good. It won't have a good result, maybe.
Do you want to
Prabhaji,
add something to this, Priyadarshanaji?
yeah, I would like to take this question. It's a very thoughtful question. See, first of all, we should understand Himsa and Ahimsa at the Gyan Darshan level. So when you understand your pure conscious that I am a knower and seer, I am not the doer of Rag.
Hmm.
Then your Rag is being checked. So
Mhm.
at that time, you are not doing this intentional violence. You're not doing you are samyaktva sanmukh mithya drishti. Samyaktva sanmukh mithya drishti. So
Samyakta
we
Sanmukh.
mithya drishti's violence will be to get rid of all kinds of violence.
Oh, so as a Mithya Drishti, if you acknowledge to yourself that I'm not doing this out of Rag, and then you do Virodhi Hinsa, then that is okay. Is that what I heard you say? I don't
Yes.
know.
So a samyak drishti means you will become a samyak drishti in fourth gunasthan. That is different. But
Right,
now
right.
reading Jainism, applying logic, you understand that I am a pure consciousness and I am not the doer of the activities of mind, body, speech. I'm only a knower and seer. I'm only
Right.
the Gyayak Bhav. I am the
Right.
Gyata Drishta Bhav. So
Yes.
whatever rag is coming, it is coming because of your past karmic rise. And you are a witness to it. You're detached. You have no attachment, even though, so it is detached attachment. You're attached to your children, but at the same time, you are detached to your Rag.
Oh.
So that detachment is the Anantanubandhi attachment. And that detachment will get rid of the Anantanubandhi Kashai.
Oh.
You are
And
not 24/7 killing people in wars and battles and earth, water, fire, air. But you are not alert of your own self. That is when the maximum violence is happening. And for a Samyak Drishti, that will stop. That will be arrested. That is not happening. And whatever other things are happening is because of their past karmic fruition. Like I'll give you the example, 1 second. When Arjun said that I cannot fight on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Krishna told him that you are a non-doer, you are a pure consciousness. And he showed him the Virat form of the consciousness. And he said that it is you're a Kshatriya, it's your duty to do the karmic uday. Whatever is in your karma that you have to do, you cannot escape that. Do it with the detachment attached.
Right.
Do it
He
with
said that. Do
enlightenment.
it with detachment.
Do it with enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Okay. Yes, over to Prabhat.
Yeah, so the gist here is that whatever your uday comes, that will happen whether you want it or not, or whether you do it. But what is in your hand is to become the Gyata Drashta, is to know the Gyan that this is happening, as if I'm also me, I'm different than this body that's acting to do whatever acts that it's doing, whether it's cooking, whether it's fighting, whether it's whatever it is. If I can be just the witness person, I'm just witnessing it. I have nothing to do with it, good or bad. That's not my concern. I'm just
And
witnessing.
this person who's having the witnessing thing is what did you say?
Me.
Samyaktva Sanmukh Mitya Drashti. Is that
Anybody
the
who's going to be able to do it is going to be Samyak Sanmukh Mitya Drashti. Yes.
Okay.
Prabhaji, Shanti
Mhm.
sir on the second day referred to one book, Kriya Parinam Abhipray. And
That's
it is in
correct.
Hindi by, please,
Abhay
please,
Kumarji.
by Abhay sir.
Abhay
Please
Kumarji,
read
yes.
that book. It will give you more insight. See, in your Kriya, there is a Himsa, but it should not be there in your intention, attitude, in your insight, in your outlook. That knowledge you should have of reality, only then the real Ahimsa, the true Ahimsa starts.
Yeah, we discuss that all the time in the class. Actually, we were trying to
What is
get
the
that book on the syllabus. But,
what is the book name again? One more time. Kriya.
I have put it in the chat. I have put
Kriya
it in the chat. You
Parinam
can take it from there.
Abhipray.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, if anybody has any questions, now is the time.
Prabhaji,
Prabhaji, in the chat, there is one query, not query, remark.
Priyaji,
I would like to take it. Amar Salgia sir has made an observation that now, today is Kali Yuga and it is the time for opportunity to get Samyak Darshan. So very rightly said. So it is the opportunity to understand the self and get the Dasalakshan, understand the Das Lakshan of the Atma. Then you will get the Lakshya of Samyak Darshan. Then the 99% of Ahimsa has started. And whatever 1% perfection can happen in 1, 2, 3 births. Huh. I'm just, trying
Priyaji,
to
I have a
put up to
question.
it. Yes, Shanti sir.
मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि this 18,000 ways of doing himsa or ahimsa, उसका reference क्या है? Where did you?
Uttaradiyan Sutra sir. Even in the Digambar tradition, 18,000 are there, but वहाँ पे थोड़े नाम अलग हैं. That also I saw, and this is also.
Do you remember which shastra had it?
Uttaradiyan Sutra. Uttaradiyan
Yeah,
Sutra.
Uttaradiyan.
I'll give you the
chapter?
reference. I'll have to check the
Later.
reference. We teach every day in
Sure,
the department, so I
Okay.
can check and give it to you.
Please, you can just send it to Prabhu.
Huh?
Okay.
I saw this 18,000 in both Digambar and the Shwetambar texts.
I know, but I want to know Digambar text if possible. But if not, then give me what you have.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, thank you.
So
Priyaji.
I have a question, Dr. Jain. So somebody who is Samyaktva Sanmukh Mitya Drashti, from there the next place, if they have Atma Anubhav as well, then they become Samyak Drashti.
Yes.
Oh.
When do you land in India or US? First, you have to have the thought of coming to India or US. Then you land in India or US. So the thought to come to India or US is the Bara Bhavna. The thought to come to the soul. Every moment you'll have it. Bodhi Durlabh. Oh, getting Samyak Darshan. What are the ways to do? Have I got it? What should I do to get it? So consistently you do this 12 bhavanas. And then you keep studying Jaina logic, the Jaina scriptures, and most importantly, study Kunda Kunda. Most importantly, study the Panch Paramagam of Kunda Kunda. And the Tattvartha Sutra, Sarvartha Siddhi.
Thank you so much, Priyaji, for all these references and everything.
Yes,
Again, thank you, Jaina. And we have a lot of requests from different people to do this more frequently. We will
Yes.
try our best to
Prabhaji,
do this.
Prabhaji,
Yes.
can we have Jaina's response to our 18 days program? Can you
Yes,
request them?
I have
Shobha ji?
gotten verbal response from Haresh Bhai, from Shobha Ben, that they're really liking it. They are willing to do this as frequently as we can do it. They have been getting a lot of calls appreciating this program. Shobha ji told me, you know, her local friends, they really like the format of the kids doing it first and all that. And, you know, yeah, everybody thought even if they're Hindi speaking, somehow listening in English is helping them understand it better, because sometimes even though you're Hindi or Gujarati speaking, you don't always, you know some of those words. So yes, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback. And yeah, let us see if Jaina can, you know, put something in writing for us or not. So so thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And all future listeners on YouTube also, we hope that you benefit from these lectures for your own soul searching. And with this, Bhavna, we would like to end these 18 days of Paryushan Parva in English.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Say, and then, okay, if you want to comment or request, please go on YouTube and maybe comment on those, you know, YouTube links, lectures, because then we can go back and see those and forward them to Jaina. Thank you so much. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है. Jai Jinendra and Micham.
Jai Jinendra, everyone.
Jai Jinendra.
Baba.
Review डालिए उसका.
Make friends so easily. And I remember that it was one of the speech given by your friends at your 50th anniversary.